Well, John, tell us what you hope to achieve with this social media boycott and how it came about.
Oh, it came about through a situation where over the course of this year alone, our players had received 6 online abuse cases, and we basically felt enough was enough. This happened on the night of the Birmingham City game, and then the following morning we had an EFL Championship club meeting, and we just spoke on behalf of our players that we had to do something, and everybody amongst those Championship clubs totally agreed. So it was a matter of how we were going to do it and when we were going to do it. So we had planned to do it a little bit sooner, but other events stopped us from doing that. But we're delighted now that we've got a football-wide initiative, and unquestionably we are all stronger together.
Swansea and Birmingham have already done a week-long social media boycott. Why was it that they went early, and did you consider joining them?
The timing was very it's just very difficult, because I think we had our meeting at 9:30. We had a very full agenda, as we always do with the Championship meetings. We started to discuss a social media boycott at the end, but Swansea had said, look, we're not trying to jump the gun here, but we feel so strongly about this that we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to do it this afternoon. There was a brief discussion about, well, guys, should you hold off and we'd all do it together? But in fairness to Swansea, they felt so strongly about it that they went off and did something, and we have to applaud that.
What's the nature of the abuse that the players from Brentford have suffered this season?
It's wide-ranging, but it's a disease that isn't getting cured at the moment, and therefore radical action needs to take place. And at our stadiums, we ban people for racist behaviour. We have a social media charter that all of our fans are aware of how they need to behave and how they need to act on social media. So we as a football club and football clubs across the country are getting their houses in order, and we just feel it's now time for the social media platforms to do the same. There are people, cowards standing in the shadows, hurling racist abuse at our players and our staff, and it has to stop.
What do you make of the fact that this has really taken hold then, that the Premier League and the EFL, the women's game as well, that they're all boycotting social media this weekend from something that you originated?
Well, I don't think we should take all the plaudits for originating it. It's it wasn't a rocket science decision, was it? It's something that needs to happen. I'm absolutely delighted that the whole of football's got behind it. It's definitely unified everybody in the game, and that can only be a positive thing.
And it's powerful on this penultimate weekend of the season, the fact that this is happening on this particular weekend. To essentially remove football from social media. Do you think that the social media companies will now act?
We hope so. I think we've seen a week gone past where football's come together and the fans have voiced their anger, and that's got government to stand up and look at the situation. And we hope the same thing happens here with social media, because it's going to require government legislation to make a change, and we hope through the actions of all of the clubs in the country and the other football authorities that people will realise now enough really is enough.
What exactly do you want the social media companies to do to better protect people?
I think there's a whole range of things that they need to do. Setting up these cowardly spoof accounts from overseas markets, where people are just throwing abuse at players, that they have to stop that from happening. And it's absolutely within their gift to stop that from happening. So I hope they see now that everybody's standing shoulder to shoulder, and this needs to stop.